Hello and welcome to my Bioshock 1 wrench guide. This is the first video for the wrench that I'm going to do. I'm going to do like an advanced wrench guide after this. This is just the basics. So the wrench is the first weapon you get in Bioshock 1, and it is also the only melee weapon in the game. It starts off doing 20 damage against anything except for Big Daddies, which it does 5 damage against those. There are tonics that can upgrade it. Oh, I'm trying to avoid combat for a second. There are tonics and different ways of upgrading the damage of the wrench. There's, what is it? Wrench Jockey, which just increases damage per hit. There's Wrench Lurker, which increases damage against unaware opponents. Unaware opponents are opponents that you either sneak up on or are stunned with Electro Bolt, are distracted by a target dummy, or are being swarmed by bees for like the first couple of seconds of being swarmed. Generally speaking, I would say bees is like your best bet because it does damage. It can like spread to dudes. Target dummy is really good too though because it can distract a lot of enemies. So those are like some basic things about the wrench. It has a pretty good default attack speed of roughly once. Whoops, shut up, I'm electrical. It's like every 0.75 seconds, I would say, roughly speaking. It's a little bit faster than 1 second. It's quite fast. With Sport Boost, it actually will swing faster. So there's a lot of ways to increase the wrench's DPS. Sport Boost increases your DPS by swinging more. Wrench Jockey just increases your baseline DPS. Like right now I have Wrench Jockey 1. I'm in survival mode without Vida Chambers on because that's the best way for me to play the game. But some things to note about the wrench. It has infinite ammo, and it can also be used with Bloodlust, which restores a little bit of health and Eve. So you can kind of use it to like combo with plasmids as you get Bloodlust, which is roughly you get like halfway through the game. So let's just like Electro Bolt this dude, whack him. So he's gonna try to kite me and throw grenades at me. So I'm just gonna kind of like move around him. So this is where the wrench really shines, is just like enemies that don't have a gun. You can always use like telekinesis to pick up something to cover distance. You can shock them to cover distance. There's a bunch of different things you can do. Enemy melee. I'm going to try to find an enemy melee really quick. Dang, he destroyed my turret. I was going to use that for a Big Daddy fight. So you can actually abuse the enemy melee AI and get it to miss you like almost every single attack. So let me see if I can find one really quick. If you walk through different areas, enemies will just randomly spawn. So I'm trying to spawn like an enemy melee unit. I'm right at the area where I get a shotgun. Let's see. Just walk back here now. So one thing to note about like thuggish splicers is that you can abuse their charge attack by stepping at an angle towards them, and they'll miss every single time. So you just have to be at like say they're like right here, you have to be at like this distance and retreating, and then they'll do their attack. You can move in like this, or you can move in like this, and you will dodge them, and then you can continue just whacking them. So you can actually save a lot of plasmid and resources just by doing that, but alright, so if I go in here, I'm going to spawn a bunch of dudes, shotgun thing and everything, so I guess I'll do that really quick. I'll give you some things. Alright, let's just use the wrench just for the hell of it. Let's see if we can do this. So I'm going to try to, like, force them to come to me. Okay, I actually didn't want to waste that. I didn't realize, I thought she had a gun. Okay, so here we go. So he uses his charge attack. So charge attack, dodge, smack, smack, smack. You can also smack them while moving. Charge attack, dodge, smack, smack. Whoops, didn't mean to shock, but yeah, you can dodge the charge attack fairly consistently and take basically no damage. So, alright, so this is actually perfect. So instead of even running the shotgun, I just stepped in at an angle as they charged towards me. Smack them a few times. There's other ways. I'm going to show some other tactics you can use. This is like the tactics and overview video. I'm going to be going over gene tonics after I get a few of them. And I can have like access to that. Okay. Did they just give me like... Did the game just give me like full shotgun ammo? Yo, what the hell? This is survival mode. Why do I have full shotgun? Alright, whatever. Alright. We don't need guns though, to be honest. Like this weapon is quite strong. Here's an area where it suffers. I think there's a... Need telekinesis for that. Whoa! So this is where the wrench suffers. What am I gonna do against this? You can't really do anything. I can like, I think I can go in there. Shock this. You could like whack it, but as we all know, hacking is insane. Alright, so let's just like quickly do this one. So the wrench is really strong. It's good for conservation. Oh, whoops. I was like solving it in reverse. It's good for conservation. It's good for DPS. It actually has really high DPS when upgraded. So it's quite a strong weapon. Like right now I'm on survival and I have like high money and like a lot of resources and I'm doing fine. And especially in the early game, you can really use it to conserve ammo to make the late game cake. Okay, here we go. Here's like an ambush thing. Check it out. So there's I'm gonna go through this really quick. So you can circle strafe things to dodge. So like when you fight an enemy or an enemy with a gun, if you get close enough to them, you can just circle strafe them, and they won't hit you at all for the most part. They'll try to melee you, so kind of keep like a distance of like this, and just circle strafe and whack them, and it's totally viable. So just some more quick tips there. What do we got? Diary. I'll leave that in case I want to like break it later for health packs. I don't bother hacking those. Like you deal so much damage that it's not even really worth it. All right, so here is an ambush. Speedy hacker, cool. All right, so he thought he had the jump on me, but I knew he was coming, so I just whacked him 3 times. So wrench jockey is insane. You get it quite early in the game too. So that's another thing that's good. Alright, so I think we have to whack this out of the way. So get through here. Oops, didn't mean to smoke those. Smoking is bad, kids, don't do it. Alright, so... Alright, let's recap some things. Let me find another enemy. I think this thing pops up. Nope, he doesn't. Could have swore there was an enemy in here. Maybe it's an ambient enemy I'm thinking of. Let's see. Oh, it's decent. Alright. Okay, let's just hack this really quick. There we go. Cool. Alright, so the wrench has really good DPS. You can use a few different strategies. I'm gonna find some more enemies really quick just to show you some other ones. Here we go. Here's telekinesis. Cool. I guess I'll get rid of incinerate. Cool. I wouldn't even bother wasting. Alright, I think I need spawns now. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about using objects. So, oh yeah, and water too. Let's go into water. So water is like your worst enemy. Look at how fast they are. Look at how slow I am. I can't even kite this at this point. Like here I can kite this. You can smack her when you're doing this. You can actually just run back in a circle and just keep moving your mouse and just smacking them and they will not hit you. So AI is very exploitable. Alright, so that I messed up. Oh dang, she ran right up that. So you can use counters to kite things. So like right here. So she's trying to path to me, right? You can just kind of drop down. This can be useful for shooting enemies, but as you can see here, you can get them stuck and just smack them at a safe distance. Your melee range is quite crazy, like it's quite far. So that's what I really wanted to show, was that insane melee distance. So let's actually like test the melee distance, right? So let's say, alright, so I'm right here, smacking this wall. So this is melee distance from here to here. So it's like, that's pretty far. That's actually unrealistically far. So your melee distance is quite insane. So, alright, let's find another enemy. I'm gonna show you abusing corners. So you can do the circle strafing thing where they can't touch you. Like you can just do this. You can do the pushing forward while they're swinging. You can do the obstacles where you jump over obstacles in terrain, and then they kind of need to repath to get to you. So those are some basic tactics you can use. Let's get this key here. just did that. Alright, is that it? Shit. Alright, is that the key? I just totally... Alright. Okay. Okay. If I would've shot that behind something, I would've been so screwed. Alright, so you don't always have to electrobolt things. If you're just sneaky enough, you can just like walk up to them. This isn't really part of the tutorial, but that's just some basic advice. Eve costs a lot of money. Electrobolt costs a lot of Eve. So when you can, you should always save it. Alright. I hack everything because like you can lead enemies into it to conserve resources. Example. Just kind of draw her to it. So if this spawns, so now I'm gonna also draw her to this turret. So now I have a friendly thing. I'm like stuck in this wheelchair. I'm like actually okay. All right. So she's gonna get gunned down. I don't use any resources. That's why hacking is great. I could whack her, but I'd much rather just let my minions do my bidding. And I'll just here. So security cameras and turrets are really good for the wrench as well. They distract enemies. We got a bogey. They distract enemies, which lets you run up and wrench them, and it costs you nothing, assuming you didn't use like an auto hack or something. So yeah, a lot of wrench tactics. There's a lot you can do with it. It's very strong. There's also I'm gonna go over tonics in a separate video because that's like a whole different in-depth thing. Security alert. Wait, I trigger. Oh, whoops! I'm an idiot. I triggered one. All right, so let's get some bogeys. So, all right, so let's say you trigger a security alert, and you're like, oh no, I triggered a security alert. Just run away from it. Just keep running. Seriously, just keep running away from it, and it'll be as if nothing happened. All right, so let's use some tactics against this boy. So always pay attention to what they're doing. Oh, I just... Whoa! Shit. I didn't... That was bad. Alright, so I got hit by a grenade over here, and then I got hit by another grenade, so I was just, like, poor positioning. So I triggered a thing, I just ran away, and I'm fine, so just do that. And then you could come back, and let's say you want a little buddy. Let's say you want a friend, you know. Let's go back to where we triggered that. That's not where we triggered that. Just shock him. For fun. So you can potentially trigger the security things just to like get like a minion if you want, if you so choose. But all right, so let's go back there, get some loot. I'm gonna wrap up this tutorial. It's getting a little bit long now, but there's some content. Looks like there's another enemy in here. Yeah. All right, so let's actually not aggro this. I'm gonna try to sneak up on it just for fun. Shit, I got stuck on something. I could have jumped and had it, but whatever. This one probably isn't going to be too useful, but we'll do it anyways. We'll do it live. Yeah, just make this easy. Okay. Alright. Hack this. Looks like all these are easy for some reason. Alright, so this isn't really a hacking tutorial, but as if you play this game, there's a lot of hacking. Hacking is really useful, you get a lot of resources. The best thing to do is to hack safes for money and supplies. And obviously hacking turrets just helps you greatly. I've never found much use of destroying turrets because it just takes so like the security camera, sure, but like actual turrets, it's just a waste to destroy them. So, alright, let's find one more enemy, engage them with a wrench, and then conclude the tutorial for the basic wrench. Alright, so we have a melee enemy, so we'll use the basic tactic. So, step at an angle. Alright. So they'll kind of kite. You can also hit them around corners. It doesn't work as well because you want to be, like, moving. In this case, she just gets gunned down. But so yeah, you can do the quarter or the rotating kite where they just never hit you, and they literally keep repathing to get to you. This is probably the most effective thing to do. You can step forward at an angle. So like, let's say the enemy's here, they're coming at you. You step forward like this. You cut an angle, and then smack them. Then just keep cutting angles and smacking them. You can use Electro Bolt. You can use plasmids. You can use all sorts of things. But like the one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to do like basic weapon tutorials where I cover things. Like I searched YouTube Bioshock weapon guide. I couldn't find them, so I just wanted to like fill that void for players who want to go a little bit more in detail and like learn about some tactics you can use. You probably didn't know about the AI thing that I just showed you, or like using pathing, like jumping on top of things. Like even just like this could probably be exploited to like dodge melee things. So yeah, that's the end of the basic wrench guide. I'll be doing the pistol guide next. It'll be a little bit more straightforward, but I'll go over the ammo types, how useful the pistol is, when to use it, and so on. So I'll see you in the next one.